Okay. We good? We're live? All right, let's see if our Chroma page is going live. Here we are, honey.
Oh, nice.
It's us.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Let me share this on my Facebook. Go test it up there. Okay.
Hopefully, you've got you can all hear us and see us okay. This is our first time trying to do a Facebook Live post, and so yeah, we're using this mic and this camera set up for the first time. We didn't have a lot of time to set up, so if it's not perfect this time, please just bear with us, and we promise it'll get better in the future.
We're live.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. All right, so hello everybody. Yeah, we're testing right now. We've never done a Facebook Live this close and personal before, and tomorrow we'll be bringing our first preview service through this channel. God has provided us a space, the equipment to be able to provide a pretty decent, we want to bring the best production we can, but compared to everybody else, at least a pretty decent production of our first service. So we're testing our Facebook Live, and this whole situation that we're in right now, it really feels like it is like a live stream situation. Things are changing every hour. Things were a lot different this Wednesday. Now it's Saturday. It's completely different, and it's changing at a very rapid pace. We were supposed to have our physical service at a rec center and nearby our city in Columbus, and we were notified yesterday afternoon that they are closing, shutting down everything as of last night. So with that, we had to quickly just scramble our thoughts, pray, and ask God, what do you want us to do? We thought, we were going to have our first service on March 15th, and quickly God told us that, you can reach a lot more people through a virtual service. We were expecting about 30 people to come to our first service tomorrow, but now who knows how many people can watch us and worship with us. So that really, I think this whole situation has changed the meaning of virtual worship and what it means to gather together as a congregation, as a body of Christ. And we want to just take some time to share about how we can worship virtually. And is it good? Is it bad? Is it bad? Are we being bad witnesses because we're now going all virtual and closing the doors? I don't think so. We don't think so. I think at a time like this, we're trying everything we can to bring the best service we can to as many people as we can. We'll be bringing the same kind of service that we would have brought to you tomorrow if we were meeting at a rec center. We would do worship, message, and announcements and everything like that. It's different because we'll be speaking to a camera, knowing that maybe dozens and even hundreds of people could be watching us. And that's a great feeling. But one thing I do want to encourage everybody to do, because I'll be leading worship tomorrow, is instead of, it's going to be tricky. You might want to just view our service, view what's happening through your phone, your computer, whatever. But if you can just really try to worship with us, sing your words. We will also be showing the lyrics behind us. We won't be here in this space. We'll be upstairs in this meeting space. But if you can just sing with us, because there is really power in the words that we proclaim out loud. There is power in really breaking down fears and breaking off chains. So I want to encourage you to sing out loud as loud as you can. Hey, you're alone, possibly. You're with your friends and family. So sing as much as you can, loud as you can, because I believe that you will experience power. We'll experience corporate power through everybody who watches, just universally, right? Because we're not the only ones. There are tons of churches, and view a lot of churches. See how they worship. I think it'll be a very interesting experience. And Isaac has something to share about, his thoughts on our thoughts on virtual worship as well.
Yeah. So the question has come up a number of times with people that we've been talking to. The question is it okay to worship virtually? And that's a really good question. Virtual worship is not a new thing. It's been around actually for a long time. There's actually a couple of churches that are virtual churches, and that's all they do. They just meet virtually. And Hannah and I, we're a big believer in community. We're a big believer in coming together. We believe that the church nominally is supposed to come together physically, and that's God's ideal, and that's the scriptural instruction for worship. But we're in a special time right now. This is unprecedented. We've never seen a time when everything is shutting down and the government is encouraging people to stay home and not congregate. And so the question then becomes, what can we do to continue to worship God given the situation? And I think in this special case, if the only way that we can worship is virtually, then that's what we should do, because God deserves our worship. It's kind of like that saying, the show must go on. Well, God's worship must go on. And so, whether it's virtually, whether it's just, people at home in their own prayer closets, just doing their personal worship, whatever it is, God's worship must go on. And so we want to make both options available, actually. We do plan to meet here at our location, which is at Kohatch, the library on High Street. We will be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We're going to have seats available, and if you want to come in person, you are welcome to come. But we understand that many people will not feel comfortable doing that, and we understand and we bless you. But if you still want to join us for worship, you can do so virtually. So we're going to have that option available as well. So you can check us out on the same page, our Chroma Church Facebook page. We'll be streaming live in the same way we're doing now. And so the biblical basis for that, I believe, is, well, first of all, the Bible is very clear. From all the way from the Old Testament to the New Testament, that God desires people to come together corporately and worship Him. If you read the Psalms, everywhere it's like, come, let us go together. Let us go up the hill of the Lord. Let's worship in the temple, in the great assembly. There's so much in the Psalms in the Old Testament about gathering, and the New Testament is the same. It says, let us not cease coming together to worship together, to spur one another on in love and good works. But because of the special circumstances that we were talking about, sometimes we have to make a decision. Is it better to risk health and to go and worship in person, or is it better to stay and worship virtually? And here I would suggest going to Romans 14. And Romans 14 really talks about conscience and about how some things are good for some people, but for other people, they see other things as good. So Romans 14, the Apostle Paul talks about how for some people, certain holidays are holy. And for other people, all days are holy. And so who's right? These are gray matters. There's no black and white. For some people, eating meat is prohibited. For other people, they know that they can eat meat or anything else. The key is, when you read that chapter, that whatever we do, we have to do it out of a heart of worship unto God. We have to do it joyfully. And we have to do it without judgment, because these are gray areas. It's not a black and white thing. So we have to show grace to other believers who think differently from us. They might have a different opinion, and that's okay. We show grace and we bless them. The key is, are we doing it for the Lord? Are we doing it to worship Him? Are we doing it with a heart of gratitude and joy? And so, that's what we believe, and we want to make those options available for everyone. And so, once again, we just want to invite all of you. If you want to worship with us virtually, please come back to our page tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and we'll be streaming live from there. And if you do want to come in person, you are welcome to come as well.
But please let us know that you'll be coming, because we don't want to have too many people for the obvious reasons. We already have about 4 people who will be helping us film and do the production. So maybe 2 more people to fill the space of 35 people capacity. So please understand that. But we strongly do encourage you to join us via Facebook Live. We're going to do just a short part of a song that we're going to sing tomorrow, just to test that as well, because this is a test video. But I want to leave you off with an encouraging thought. It was snowing in Columbus, Ohio this morning. I think it may be still. And earlier, the snow chunks were so big. It was like this big. And my mom, who's visiting, she's 65 years old. She's visiting from Chicago to help us. She came initially to help us with the first service. She looked at the snow and she said, "It's so beautiful." it's God's blessing. She said in Korean, 하나님의 축복이네. And I was like, wow, Mom, you really have no worries or concerns. And I thought, again, really the thoughts of apocalypse is really just in our hearts, isn't it? If we could choose to see the beautiful things around us, we will see the beauty in this chaos. So let's be people who choose to see beauty instead of the crisis, because there are so many beautiful things around us that we're missing because of what's happening externally and even internally within our hearts. So I believe we can find intimacy through corporate worship, doing so on virtual through virtual means. So yeah, let's pray for that, and we'll be praying for you as well.
Sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever.
Thanks. And again, since this is a test, leave your comments. Let us know how the volume was, and if there's any feedback, we would love to hear it so that we can bring the best service for that 1 hour tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
See you tomorrow.